Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of the Foolish Fish News. I am so happy to bring this new logo to you. So this is the big news for me this week is that, so I told you last week that I had approached Adrian Baxter, no less, and asked him if he would be willing to create a logo for my channel. And we spent a little bit of time working out what would be ideal and things like this. And after a little bit of back and forth, this is the final product that he has created for me. I could not be happier. It's absolutely fantastic, and I hope you like it as much as I do. I'm very, very happy with it. I can't wait to start producing t-shirts and and stickers and so on. I think, so you could possibly look forward to that around midsummer, something along those lines. Yeah, very, very happy and excited about that. Moving on to the publication news, The Fall of Man have got a new release, so it's the Ginnrúnbók, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, the Book of Primeval Whispers. So this is a book dedicated to the giants of Norse tradition. It looks very, very nice. They've released a few pictures on Facebook, which look really incredible, actually. I imagine that this is the slipcased edition. I mean, we can see the slipcase right here. And that looks like snakeskin, but I can't imagine that they actually made snakeskin books for €90. I would imagine that that is fake, but I don't know for sure. The one thing that I have historically had a problem with the Fall of Man books is these tiny, tiny margins. Everything else about their books, apart from maybe also the paper quality, the paper tends to be a little too yellow for my liking. But other than that, the content is great. The look, the outer aspects of their books, they are, they're very, very good at at making beautiful looking books. And as you can see, the illustrations here are just fantastic, right? And having this two-tone printing within the book, I think that's wonderful. If only there were larger margins, I think it would make a big difference in my eyes anyway. But anyway, you probably know if this is the right choice for you. Staying with the Norse tradition, Aidan Press are about to make available the TROLLRU N. So this is it's a hardcover edition of TROLLRU N. There's only going to be 500 printed, and if you want a chance to actually buy one, then you will need to subscribe. There we go, to this mailing list to reserve your copy of TROLLRU N. They will send out emails to people who have subscribed, and only to those people. And only those people will be able to put in a pre-order. This is so that they get an idea of how many to print, more or less, right? So actually quite a nice thing. If you have signed up previously for other books, you will not get the emails for this one. You need to sign up for each individual book. This is to avoid the situation where you buy one book and then 2 years later you're still receiving emails asking you if you want to still receive books. I think it's quite a considerate approach. Certainly it's their approach. So if you're interested in this TROLLRU N publication, this is they received an example of their cover, and actually I think it looks really, really beautiful. You can see that it's real buckram with this kind of bronze stamp on it. Yeah, it's going to be really, really nice. So yeah, the link's down below. Of course, just subscribing, by the way, does not mean that you have to buy the book. It just means that you will receive the email saying that pre-orders are open. Moving on to Theon Publishing. So you remember maybe that I reviewed the Book of Flesh and Feather, And the Litanies of Thoth have become available since then. The fine editions are all sold out, but I was looking for just some kind of idea of what the actual book looked like. The book of Flesh and Feather was so large. Maybe not this big, but it was a large book, and I heard that this one was significantly smaller, so 15 millimeters. 15 centimeters. I beg your pardon, 15 millimeters. 15 centimeters by 10 centimeters, Miskatonic books have come to the rescue, as they always do. Miskatonic books, the US premium occult and esoteric bookstore, links down below naturally, and they have made some pictures so we can actually see what the book looks like. I recommend you check out their store. I was interested to see, because I know these clips, right, because they use these clips in many of the pictures that they make, Miskatonic books, and I know that they're not as big as all that, and so this gives me an idea of actually what the scale of the book actually is. And it is quite small, but I'm very happily surprised to see how beautiful it is inside. And so if you're not 100% sure what this is a it's a litany. So it's a book of worship to Thoth Jehuti. There we are. Okay, moving on to Atramentus Press, who have released the design for their new upcoming book, Lilith, Gender and Demonology by Stephanie Spotto. Atramentus Press always delight me with their cover art. It just invariably beautiful. I remember being in Watkins Books a couple of years ago, and someone was asking me for some advice. What should I buy first? And they had, I think it was one of the early Atramentus Press books in their hands, and I was like, I'm not sure that is going to be the right thing for you if you're just starting out. Atramentus Press books tend to be very, very verbose and designed for the advanced practitioner usually, right? But he was like, no, it's too beautiful. I have to have this one, which was, to be fair, completely understandable. So Lilith, Gender and Demonology. This is going to be their cover. They've also, you may be aware that they're about to release Being and Non-Being in Occult Experience, the Volume 1. So this is going to be a whole series, and Volume 1 is going to be specifically about Thelema and Aleister Crowley and the Liberal, I believe, Velligis. So this is going to be the cover of the deluxe edition. Now, the deluxe editions tend to be a lot more expensive than the regular hardcovers, which are invariably very beautiful. So we can already see what their deluxe edition is going to look like, and it's just going to be gorgeous. Of course it is. Moving on, Brandon Calloway, thank you so much, recommended this Etsy store to me, the Sigil board shop. And the idea is that this artist creates blackboards, what would you say, chalkboards, so slates, you could say, right? And the idea is that these kind of squiggles are designed to confuse the conscious mind. So you design your sigil on this board in the central circle. And then you would charge it however you charge it. And I should probably make a video about that. And the idea is that those squiggles are there to help to confuse the conscious mind so that the message is going directly to the unconscious mind, where it can sit and kind of start manifesting in various ways in your life and so on and so forth. But I just thought the boards themselves were just so beautiful. So yeah, we can see it being lit up with a black light and so on. Yeah, possibly something useful, something certainly very beautiful. Moving on to Amazon. So what do we have here? A couple of upcoming releases. So this one to be released on June 29th, Herbal Magick, a Handbook of Natural Spells, Charms and Potions by Aurora, Kane, which looks very, very nice. It's going to be in a hardcover, which... Yep, that's not a bad thing. Very often these books come out only in paperback, so that's a really nice thing. And you can see that the hardcover is only a few pennies more than the Kindle edition. So yeah, great. I hope that the contents are going to be as nice as the aspect of the book promises. Chris Allen, or Allon, I beg your pardon, who is the author of Otherworld, which I rather like, actually, ecstatic witchcraft for the spirits of the land, yeah? So he has announced his next book, A Guide of Spirits, a Psychopomp's manual for transforming the dead to the... for transitioning the dead to the afterlife. So this is going to be his next book, out in October 1st. So yeah, be looking forward to that. The Sorcerer's Secrets. Now, I didn't know about the Sorcerer's Secrets, strategies in practical magic. I was looking into the upcoming books, and I found this audio book, right? The Sorcerer's Secrets, by Jason Miller, and many of you are probably going, "What, you didn't know about Jason Miller?" And no, I didn't. It turns out that this book has been extremely popular. The cover is very familiar to me. I mean, I've seen it many times. I've never really looked at it very closely, but it seems to be very well respected. It came out in 2009, and it's now getting an audio book. Now, what's interesting is that I found out about this, and I thought, yeah, maybe viewers would be interested in that. I'll add it to what I'll be talking about in the Foolish Fish News. And then Aidan Wachter, author of 6 Ways, of course, and of Weaving Fate, which I've reviewed and which I really, really love. Aidan Wachter, I've got a lot of respect for Aidan Wachter. He released this blog post, Some Thoughts on Starting an Offering Practice. And I thought, oh, perfect, I'll talk about that as well in my Foolish Fish News. And I was very interested to find out that just a few lines in, he started talking about this book, right? About the Sorcerer's Secrets, strategies in practical magic. I'm not going to be able to find it now, of course, but no, I'm not going to be able to find it, but I'll leave it there for you to read at your own leisure. It's very nicely written. Very Aidan Wachter cares about introducing people to magic, so you don't need to worry that this is going to be too advanced or anything like that. Although if you are an advanced practitioner, I'd be very surprised if you weren't able to pick up a few tips from Aidan Wachter there. You probably know all about him, and I'm sure you're already looking down in the description for the link to be able to read this on your own. Strong recommendation there. What do we have here? This is a Kickstarter. It's not a tarot, it's an oracle deck. So the Embroidered Graveyard Oracle, I just thought it looked really beautiful. This artist has created embroidery for a number of oracle cards, and she's releasing prints of them as just as an oracle deck. I just think the designs are so beautiful. I thought you might like to have a look at those. This community. It's already funded, by the way, so there's no risk of it not being not going ahead, right? Of you not actually getting this if you decide to support it. The prices are quite reasonable, £28 for a deck. Let's see, £39. What's the difference here? I'm not 100% sure. The tarot deck with its softback guidebook, and the oracle deck and its guidebook. Okay, so it seems to be two different decks. I hadn't even seen that. So there's an oracle deck and a tarot deck. All right, so that would explain the kind of hearts that we saw. That seems to be the back of the cards. Okay, anyway, very, very beautiful designs. You know already probably if this is the kind of thing for you. It's a nice oracle cloth there. And this is the shipping costs. US and Canada, Europe and UK, and the rest of the world. Yeah, shipping is getting expensive, isn't it? Yeah, that's the way it goes. Finally, the board game of the week for me is Kemet, which has finally shipped. This was a Kickstarter that started last year. It's a remake of an old game, and apparently this remake is actually wonderful. It's based on all the Egyptian gods. It's a fighting game. Ultimately, you're trying to take control of areas and so on. I really like the design of the whole thing. It's really quite beautiful. There we are. So if you're into your Egyptian mythology and your Egyptian gods, this could be one for you. The fact that it has now been sent to all the backers means that you'll probably start seeing these popping up on eBay and so on, so it'll start becoming available. I imagine that this will be in stores within the next year or so. But if you're very, very keen to get started early, then there's probably going to be an opportunity to do so quite soon. It's quite cool, the Cthulhu expansion there with Nyarlathotep and Night Beast and Cthulhu itself right there. All right, that's the news from me this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you very, very soon with another video. Take care. Have a good one.